From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your evening weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking in on your evening weather update. I'm meteorologist Mike Witcher, and what a beautiful weekend it turned out to be, considering last Monday when we were talking about the potential of 1 to 2+ inches of rainfall, thanks to the remnants of Francine. That never, ever happened, and we just didn't get a whole lot of rainfall. By the way, I'm broadcasting, I've been saying Dallas, Texas. I'm actually in Irving, Texas, right next to Dallas, Texas. But anyways, for the National Weather Association's annual weather conference. I come every year, continuing education credits, and so that's why I've got the lanyard on. I actually just stepped out of the conference to come and give you a weather update for the evening hours, and many of you may see this, and you'll probably see it next to my name when my name pops up, but I am a seal holder for the National Weather Association and the American Meteorological Society, and a certified broadcast meteorologist as well. So I have extra designations, and that's why I come to these conferences, because it's continuing education to keep my seals, which I've worked really hard for over the years after college to obtain, to give you all my credibility. I mean, that's my credibility right there. So that's something to keep in mind. Anyways, I digress. Let's talk about the forecast, shall we? Because it's going to be a nice evening around town. Here's that evening weather update. It's 6. We're in the mid-80s, but we'll drop down into the low 70s as we get into the 10 o'clock hour. So a nice, comfortable evening. Not too humid, not too hot, not too cold. The dry air is not too terribly dry, but definitely a pleasant evening around town. All right, here's those morning lows as we get started on our Monday morning. We're going to see those temps dip down into the 50s and some low 60s. So again, because our dew points are in the 60s, our morning lows will likely stay in the upper 50s to low 60s pretty much all week long, because we're not going to see much of a change in our dew point numbers here through the next 5 to 7 days. So as we get started on Monday, we start in the 50s and 60s. By lunchtime, we'll warm into the upper 70s. Our goal Monday afternoon, very similar to what we saw Saturday and Sunday. We'll be back into the low, mid, and a few pockets of some upper 80s. Upper 80s across the Southern Valley, low to mid 80s from Interstate 40 northward. And just like Saturday and Sunday as well, we're going to see abundant sunshine. So we'll see a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day on Monday, but that really should be about the extent of it. So I'm not expecting a whole lot of activity on Monday, maybe a stray shower, but again, I don't think that we're going to probably see much activity. We don't really have the energy, we don't really have the moisture in place, so it looks like it's going to be relatively dry. However, with that said, look at the top right-hand side of your screen on the maps, and you notice some green starting to show up. That's that coastal low coming in from the Carolinas. That's going to be moving its way from east to west. So through the day on Monday, we are likely to stay on the dry side, maybe some showers towards Unicoi County, Carter County, Johnson County, but that I think is going to be about the extent of it on Monday. However, that may change a little bit. There's that coastal low moving its way on in. So we might start to get a little bit more activity as we head through our Monday night into Tuesday morning. But the general consensus is we'll probably get more bark than bite, just like Francine, more cloud coverage than precipitation, because actually when you look at your 7-day rainfall outlook, we're not looking at a lot, and I'll show you that here in a second. As I mentioned, dew points are going to stay right there in the low to mid 60s, so not too humid, not too dry, just about right, especially for this time of the year. It's going to be feeling pretty good out there. Here's that coastal low. As we pick up our timeline Monday and run you through the entire week, it's just going to meander and wobble across much of the Appalachian region, the Northeast, and so that is going to bring us the cloud coverage. So do anticipate more clouds this week, but again, I just don't think that's going to translate to a lot of rainfall. When you look at your rainfall chances, they're pretty lackluster, 10-20% at best. And I don't really like to do 10%, but I'm covering all of East Tennessee just to kind of give you an idea that, maybe a stray shower or two. That should be it. But when you translates to precipitation actually reaching the surface, well, again, not a whole lot. This is your 7-day rainfall outlook. Upper East Tennessee has the best chance of seeing any sort of rainfall at all, and that's associated with that coastal low that's moving its way on in here this week. And we desperately need the rain. We haven't hardly had any. We've picked up 0.04 of an inch of rain so far this month, and so not a lot of precipitation has been in the forecast so far this month. We're already halfway through the month almost, we are halfway through the month, and we're rain-free. And typically this time of the year we get, or this month anyways, we get about 3.5 inches of rainfall. So we desperately need that, because as we head into October, that's an even drier month. And then as we get into November, December, and January, the rainfall and moisture starts to pick up around the area. Temperatures will be pretty average. A little bit above, a little bit below, but generally speaking, we're going to be right around average for the next 5 to 7 days. But however, I've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. The Climate Prediction Center is still looking at the probabilities of above average temperatures. Now, what does that mean? Well, as we get towards the end of the month, average highs are drop down into the upper 70s. So we're not going to be in necessarily the upper 70s. We may be in the low or maybe even mid 80s. We're not saying how hot it's going to be, but it does look like it's going to be trending above average as we head through the end of the month. Again, you can always check in on the latest forecast every single day with the East Tennessee Weather app. If you don't have that yet, download it today. It's 100% free. Just go to your app store and search East TN Weather, all one word. That's one thing that I've been learning from the conference. Real quick, as I take that, there's my seals right there. Those designations right there is why I am here in Irving, Texas, for continuing education. So, that's why we're broadcasting here, but that's what the great thing about East Tennessee Weather. We are all digital all the time, and that's, as I mentioned, one of the biggest conversation is AI and linear TV, i.e. the local news, versus digital and the apps. And what they're proving is East Tennessee Weather is the right place to be. It's your one-stop shop weather for us right here in East Tennessee every single day. All right, don't forget Wake Up with Witcher. I am going to try to broadcast live on Monday morning for Wake Up with Witcher starting at 7 o'clock in the morning. So tune in. I hope to have a little bit more. I may even have an interview guest. We'll see if somebody can get up and join me early in the morning. But I will see you, hopefully, as long as the internet and everything works out okay, 7 o'clock in the morning for a live weather update to get the work week started. Then I'll go into the conference and I'll learn some more. And then you can learn some more because I'll be pushing that on social media. Have a great night.